Now I wanted to talk about critical race theory. Now, a lot of people are asking, what is critical race theory? Okay. Now, first of all, I want to say that's a racist question. Okay, right off the bat, you need to know you're a racist if you're asking that. Okay, so just stop. All right. But I'm going to answer the question anyway. All right. And there's a big myth that critical race theory is communist, and it really has nothing to do with race. Okay, first I want to debunk that myth, because that is what is known as a myth. All right, and that's just a total outright lie. If you believe it, you're racist, obviously, and that's why I'm doing this video. I want to educate you so that you know critical racism has nothing to do with communism at all, not even a smidge, not even a little bit. Okay, I'm going to educate you. Now, let's go over because they're saying it's Marxist communism. Okay, that's a specific type of communism, although they all have the same type of ideology. But there was a book, right? And it was written a long time ago by some rich white guy, okay, an elitist. And he wrote a book called Marxist Communism, okay? And in that book, it says that, communism is the best and you got to have it, you know what I mean? And he says that society is like the evolution of humanity. You know how you start out as a single cell and then you fish, now you're a gorilla, and next thing you know, you got people, right? Well, there's an evolution when it comes to societies. You start out with your king and queen, and then you move up to dictators and et cetera, and then you move up to capitalism, and at the very top is communism. There is no better thing than communism, obviously, because the book is called Marxist Communism, so it's gonna say that, right? And what it also says is that, like when you have your king and queen, you can't move up to the next thing until you destroy every aspect of society, because the king-queen social complex, right? The social structure, which includes everything from, in today's society, it would include like, judges and government, police, churches, the way you talk, the way you think, social norms, everything, down to every aspect of society. That's what the social structure is, okay? The social structure includes everything, all the way down to the way you think and talk, okay? And they say you have to destroy all of that from the king and queen. You kill the king and queen, now you can't move on until you destroy the social structure, right? And set up a new social structure. And the evolution is to move and progress higher and higher until you get up to communism. Capitalism being the one right before communism, okay? And it teaches that, the workers will rise up and will take over and destroy the capitalist pig, the rich people, and they will set up a communist society, and everyone will be in bliss. Everyone will be in utopia. Now, this book was written a long time ago. Okay, so I don't know why people associate it with CRT. The books were written long time. That was a long time ago. Okay, so in the, I'm just guessing. I think like maybe 1920 or something, maybe 1940. I don't know. But anyways, when the workers didn't rise up in America, right? The workers didn't rise up and turn everything into communism. They didn't destroy all of society. So the Marxist communists who followed that book said, well, we got to write a new book and explain why. Okay? And that book was called Critical Legal Studies. And that's where critical theory stems from. And this book is a sequel, or part 2, to a book called Marxist Communism, to explain why the workers did not rise up to overtake the rich capitalist pigs. Why didn't it happen? Because that's what was predicted in the Marxist Communist book, right? So they had to write a sequel or a part 2 explaining why. Why didn't this happen? And the way they explained it was this, that oppression is so intertwined, okay, in the social structure, okay. It's so intertwined, this oppression between, and it makes the worker more stupid than the rich person, right? Because he's being brainwashed all the time, and it like deadens or retardens his brain, right? So the worker can't think, and they keep fooling the worker thinking that he has a chance to get ahead, but he doesn't, because it's so built in, it's so intertwined, this oppression, that he cannot, no matter what he does, how hard he works, that worker can never, come up and succeed. You know what I mean? And that is why, and that built-in racism or oppression that's intertwined into all society, that's called the cultural hegemony. Okay, and you cannot get rid of the capitalism without destroying everything first. Everything down to the way people think and talk. That's what these two books say. And that, until you do that, you can never build your fair communist society. Never. Unless you destroy and dismantle every aspect of society first. Because it's all intertwined with this oppression. And you got to get rid of it. You got to get it all the way out before you can start again. So, now, let's talk about the critical race theory book, okay, which was written after these two books, right? I think somewhere around the 60s, right, by a guy named Bell. He's a black man. So right off the bat, we know he's good because all black people are good. There ain't no bad black people. Unless you're a racist, obviously, you know what I mean? But I'm not a racist, So he took that book, that second book, right? It's called Critical Legal Studies. And that's what they teach in college. There's an actual class called Critical Legal Studies, and they study this book, which is a sequel to the first book, Marxist Communism. Right? So you got a Marxist Communism book, you got a sequel to it, or part 2, called Critical Legal Studies. Now, Bell wrote a completely different book. Completely different, okay, first off. If you weren't so stupid and racist, you'd know, okay? What he did was he took 99% of the critical legal studies, and yeah, he did pretty much copy the whole book, okay? He copied the whole book, but he changed 2 words. That's what you racist people don't understand. That's why it isn't communism. He changed worker to black person, and he changed oppressor, rich oppressor, to white oppressor. Oh yeah, see, he changed 2 words. That makes it not communism by definition, you idiot. I mean, think about it. If I took the whole Bible and I recopied it word for word, and then everywhere it said God, I put the word Kevin, and everywhere it said Devin, I put the devil, I put the word Biden. I mean, come on, man. Then it wouldn't be Christianity at all, because I changed them. Because I'm saying Kevin created the universe. Everything that God did, I would be saying Kevin did. So it obviously wouldn't be about Christianity anymore. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? But you got these dumbasses with their dumbassery talking about, well, you only changed 2 words. But yeah, you did change 2 words. That's what makes it not communism. Like, use your brain. Use your brain. Okay? Now, in CRT, they don't teach crazy thoughts like the workers being oppressed and all this stuff. They say the black person is being oppressed, you dumbass. You dumbass. Okay, they say black people are dumber than white people. And, this is true. If you don't believe black people are dumber than white people, then you are racist, okay? Because it says clearly in CRT, which was written by a black man, that black people are just dumber than white. See, it's not because, and you might say, well, that sounds racist. It really does sound racist. And I'd be like, no, you don't understand. Black people aren't stupider than white people because of their DNA. It's not because of that. It's because of the cultural hegemony. It's because of the built-in racism, the built-in oppression. It's not their fault. It's the white people's fault for brainwashing them and bombarding them every day, since birth they get bombarded with racism from every aspect of society, down to the way people talk and think, man. You don't think that'd be rough on you? You don't think that's going to deaden and retarden your brain a little bit? Of course it is. That's why CRT says it. Duh. This is written by a black man, so you know it's true. All black men are good and honest and right. That's for sure. Okay. I mean, unless you're a racist. But so I don't understand. I mean, I think the whole problem is there was this guy named Martin Luther King Jr. I don't know if you ever heard of him, but see, this man was a puppet of the white privileged people, man. And they were just trying to because he was trying to say, if you can believe this dumbassery, this Republican bull nonsense, that people should be judged not by the color of their skin, but the content of their character. Yeah, that's communism, if I ever heard communism. Yes, you're right. I mean, unless you're racist. But, you know, CRT says, no, don't be racist. You're only that's a trick. See, CRT teaches, I didn't know this, okay? But now I do, okay? See, it doesn't just, this brainwashing and racism towards the blacks, it's not just that. There's also an intertwined all through the system, all through society, this cultural hegemony, and it brainwashes my white brain, man. It brainwashes me to think I'm better than black people, man. And it brainwashes me to think that it's okay that I'm on top and they're all on bottom. You know what I mean? But now I know. That's why I don't have that's why I live in this abandoned building, because I'm not racist. Okay. So now you can see that CRT is totally different, man. Totally different. Like in CRT, it says that, you know, black people are hopeless, and they don't talk nothing about no workers. They're talking about black people. They have no hope. No matter what they do, they could work all 16 hours a day, be smarter than Einstein, invent 100 million products, but they will never succeed because they're black. Come on, they're hopeless. And until we need to teach these children, these little black children, say 5, 6, 7, we need to teach them until that they know that they are hopeless and that they have no hope in life. And no matter what they do, they can't succeed. That's what they need to know, the truth. These racist white people, they don't want to tell the truth to the black little kids. Like, what's wrong with you? Well, I understand why. It's the cultural hegemony, that built-in racism, done brainwashed you to think these crazy, nutty thoughts. Okay, I don't understand, man. Why y'all gotta be so racist? I just don't get it. And you see, CRT teaches, that the black people, not the workers, they don't say workers should rise up and destroy every aspect of society because this cultural hegemony, this built-in racism, they have built-in oppression. CRT has built-in racism. You don't see there's a difference there, idiot? God, your dumbassery just disgusts me, people, and your racism, okay? I feel like crying right now because you're so racist. But you can either do one of two things, is all I'm saying. You can either listen to this puppet of the white elitist, Martin Luther King, who was just bought off by the white people. He was basically the KKK's pet, distributing their racism, okay? And you can believe that you should judge someone by the content of their character and not the color of their skin. But you just be a racist piece of garbage, okay? And if you want to be not a racist piece of garbage, you'll follow CRT, where we know you have to judge people by the color of their skin, not the content of their character. Because of the cultural hegemony, the built-in racism, you have to. Come on now. Stop being so racist. So it's the black person who has no hope, and they have to stand up and rise and destroy. It's their duty to destroy every aspect of society, all the way down to the way you talk and think. And they can't fix nothing. They can't do anything until they do that first step.